Life's not easy. Is it up there? Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. And yes, most things are more rewarding when you break a sweat to get them. Number two, I love this. Unbelievable is the stupidest word in the dictionary. Should never come out of our mouths. Think about it. To say, oh wow, what an unbelievable play. It was an unbelievable book, an unbelievable film, an unbelievable act of courage. Really? It may be spectacular, it may be phenomenal, most excellent or outstanding. But unbelievable? Give others and yourself more credit. It just happened. You witnessed it. You just did it. Believe it. What about the other side of unbelievable? You know, that side when we humans underperform or act out of our best character. For instance, man flies a suicide jet into the World Trade Center. Millions die from diseases every day that we have cures for. Bob the Builder swears that he's going to have your house built by Thanksgiving, and you can't move in until Christmas the next year. Our best friends lied to us, and we lie to ourselves all the time. Unbelievable? I don't think so. Again, it just happens, and it happens every day. Nothing that we Homo sapien earthlings do is unbelievable. And if there's one thing you can depend on people being, it's people. So we shouldn't be surprised. We, us, are the trickiest mammals walking the planet. I'm not worried about the monkeys. I'm worried about you and me. Happiness is an emotional response to an outcome. If I win, I will be happy. If I don't, I won't. It's an if-then, cause and effect, quid pro quo standard that we cannot sustain because we immediately raise it every time we attain it. You see, happiness demands a certain outcome. It is result reliant. And I say if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently and you're going to be unhappy much of your time. Joy, though. Joy is a different thing. It's something else. Joy is not a choice. It's not a response to some result. It's a constant. Joy is the feeling that we have from doing what we are fashioned to do, no matter the outcome. Now, personally, as an actor, I started enjoying my work and literally being more happy when I stopped trying to make the daily labor a means to a certain end. For example, I need this film to be a box office success. You know, I need my performance to be acknowledged. I need the respect of my peers. All those are reasonable aspirations, but the truth is, as soon as the work, the daily making of the movie, the doing of the deed became the reward in itself for me, I got more box office, more accolades and respect than I ever had before. See, joy is always in process. It's under construction. It is in constant approach, alive and well in the doing of what we're fashioned to do and enjoying it. Number 4, define success for yourself. Now check this out. I'm in south of New Orleans a few years ago, and I went to a voodoo shop. And they had this wooden partition against the wall with these columns. And in these columns were all these vials of these magic potions, right? And the headings above each potion defining what they would give you were things like fertility, health, family, legal help, energy, forgiveness, money. Guess which column was empty? Money.
Somebody please tell me where else you're going to have this much fucking fun?
Let's admit it. Money is king today. It's what makes the world go round. It is success. The more we have, the more successful we are, right? Now, I would argue that our cultural values have even been financialized. Humility is not in vogue anymore. It's too passive. It's a get-rich-quick on the internet, richest 15 minutes of fame world that we live in, and we see it every day. But we all want to succeed, right? So the question that we got to ask ourselves is what success is to us, what success is to you. Is it more money? That's fine. I got nothing against money. Maybe it's a healthy family. Maybe it's a happy marriage. Maybe it's to help others, to be famous, to be spiritually sound, to leave the world a little bit better place than you found it. Continue to ask yourself that question. Now, your answer may change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. It tastes sweet, but you will get cavities tomorrow, all right? Life is not a popularity contest. Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill? So, me, how do I define success? For me, myself. Well, for me, it's a measurement of 5 things. We got fatherhood. We got being a good husband. We got my health, mind, body, and spirit. We got career, and we got friendships. These are what's important to me in my life right now. So I try to measure these 5 things each day. I check in with them. I like to see whether or not I'm in the debit section or the credit section with each one. Am I in the red or am I in the black? You follow? For instance, sometimes say my career's rolling. All right, it's way up here in the black, but I see how my relationship with my wife maybe could use a little bit more of my attention. I got to pick up the slack on being a better husband. Get that one out of the red. Or say my spiritual health could use some maintenance. It's down here, but hey, man, my friendships and my social life, they're in high gear, right? I got to recalibrate. Checks and balances. I got to go to church. Remember to say thank you more often, something. But I got to take the tally because I want to keep all 5 in healthy shape. And I know that if I don't take care of them, if I don't keep up maintenance on them, one of them is going to get weak, man. It's going to dip too deep into the debit section. It's going to go bankrupt. It's going to get sick, die even. So first, we have to define success for ourselves. And then we have to put in the work to maintain it. Take that daily tally. Tend our garden. Keep the things that are important to us in good shape. I mean, let's admit it. We've all got 2 wolves in us. A good one and a bad one. And they both want to eat. The best I can tell, we just got to feed that good one a little more than the other one. Here we go. Number 5. Don't leave crumbs. And the beauty of delayed gratification. So what are crumbs? Well, the crumbs I'm talking about are the choices that we make that make us have to look over our shoulder in the future. You didn't pay that guy back the money that you owed him, and tonight you just saw him 3 rows behind you. Shit. These are the crumbs. They come in the form of regret, guilt, and remorse. You leave crumbs today, they will cause you more stress tomorrow, and they disallow you from creating a customized future in which you do not have to look over your shoulder. So let's flip the script. Outcomes that take from us, let's create more outcomes that pay us back, fill us up, keep your fire lit, turn you on for the most amount of time in your future. These are the choices I'm talking about. And this is the beauty of delayed gratification. All right, tee yourself up. Do yourself a favor. Make the choices, the purchases today that pay you back tomorrow. Residuals. In my business, we call it mailbox money. If I do my job well today, and that movie keeps rerunning on TV, 5 years from now, I'm getting checks in the mailbox. It's a heck of a deal. So whether it's prepping the coffee maker the night before, so all you got to do is press the button in the morning, or getting ready for the job interview early so you don't have to cram the night before, or choosing not to hook up with that married woman because you know you're going to feel horrible about it tomorrow, and her husband carries a gun, or paying your debts on time so that when you do see that guy 3 rows back tonight, you don't have to hunker down in your seat hoping that he don't see you. Get some ROI. You know what that is? Return on investment. Your investment. You. Customize your future. Don't leave crumbs.
It begins soon. Please stand by. Don't go anywhere. Warning, warning, warning. The following broadcast is not intended for regular radio. Please disengage your audio console immediately.
Found you when your heart was broke. I filled your cup until it overflowed. Took it so far to keep you close. I was afraid to leave you on your own. I said I'd catch you if you fall. And if they laugh, then fuck 'em all. And then I got you off your knees, put you right back on your feet, just so you could take
Bulls Radio Lounge. How are you? What's going on this Tuesday night? Hope everybody is okay tonight. Hope everybody is settled in for another wild show. Matt the Savior on the other end. I am Bull. This is the Social Reload Show only on Bulls Radio Lounge. I got the message, by the way, and I downloaded it, so hopefully it's either downloaded or already has been downloaded. We'll talk about that in a minute. Got a couple things in the docket tonight. Just a little bit, little different stories, if you will.
Ramadan looks different.
Oh, who's playing? Stop playing. Stop goddamn playing.
Ah, jeez. Sonic.
All right, so let's see. I got two dads exchange gunfire. That'll be interesting.
Oh, shit.
Over a road rage, road rage.
Yeah, road rage.
People with the fucking road rage. Jeez.
Shit, we see a lot of that in Florida.
Oh, yeah. DeSantis says Anheuser-Busch is way too woke. Has lost him as a customer. Why you wouldn't drink Bud Light.
Why would you want to drink Bud Light? Yeah, I mean,
We'll get into that because they're about $5 billion in the hole
over, what, a week or two?
over like almost a month.
Oh, a month.
One killed, 5 injured after parking garage collapses in lower Manhattan. Talk about that.
Wow.
Those things kind of scare me, to be honest with you.
So how about a little bit closer to home?
What, a garage?
You hear, so around, what was it? Come on, man. I just drew a blank as soon as I started talking. April Fool's Day.
Yeah, okay.
You know about April Fool's Day around these parts?
Yeah, April Fool's, yes. I know April Fool's is a big day for people to pull pranks on.
This year specifically.
No,
you know
I
what
don't.
happened?
Please enlighten me.
Well, maybe we'll talk about that if we have time. Keep
Okay.
going with yours.
Okay, I was just telling the stories. Woman
Yeah,
in
no. I mean,
Hillsborough.
we'll see if we get to it.
Okay, woman in Hillsborough County violently road raged him. I think it's her and her husband, or her and a boyfriend or whatever. But I saw this on the news.
More road rage.
Yeah, it was something
And the
that.
guy is still on the run.
Yeah, whatever. Well, what happened was, I guess this other driver did something to make them mad, and then they got out of the car and they started beating the windshield of the other guy. Both of them.
Hey, been there.
It's just I don't know why people get so upset about driving your car.
Because I'm better than you, and get out of my way.
Yeah, if you want to act like a
You suck on
NASCAR
that. Get out of
driver.
my way.
So all that and more. Quite a few things to talk about on the docket. One of which I kind of want to get into this story.
Which one?
The DeSantis story.
Okay, yeah, I'm with it. Let's go.
Okay, so here's the thing. Bud Light went to sort of I don't know if is it extreme measures or just a different type of advertising
Different kind of
marketing
client base,
Okay, so
different target.
and mind you, I am not a beer drinker. I don't really care too much for beer. I'm more of
But when he does,
I does not Bud Light. I
Bud
tell you
Light
that.
wears
much.
the dress.
No, Bud Light is not really on my list if I drink beer.
Those
Now,
Secchies.
so Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, which, at all accounts, argumentatively, I have seen this person on the news quite a few times. Everybody has, and he's really back and
He's
forth.
a monster of a man.
People say that, but
In a
I
great
just
way.
the-
No,
the-
in a great way.
and the way I see the news stories is sort of the opinions go back and forth. They like them, they don't like them. They like them, they don't like them.
It depends on who you're listening to. Republicans love him.
Okay. So amongst the Bud Light boycotting, amid the promotion of transgender personality, Dylan Mulvaney, as he said, conservative consumers hold power, quote unquote power, to keep the company accountable. He also revealed his preferred alternative beer during the interview Monday, evening with political commentator Benny Johnson. DeSantis said he would not be drinking Bud Light anymore as he did not wish to help enable woke companies and their goals of trying to change our community, trying to change policy and trying to change culture. Why would you want to drink Bud Light? I mean, it's like, honestly, the that's like them rubbing our faces in it. And it's like those companies that do this, if they never have any response, they're just going to keep doing it.
So have you ever had Bud Light?
I have in my days.
What do you think?
Tastes like water to me.
It's not very good.
No, has no flavor to it. And really,
It's not very good. And you know, the funny thing is that when we say that, when we're like, you know what, I'm not drinking Bud Light because I don't like Bud Light. I just don't like the flavor of it.
yeah.
We're told we're lying.
Okay.
But that's not the thing. It's because we're transphobes and because whatever, blah, blah,
All
blah.
right. Well, let me.
I also happen to agree with the fact, or don't agree with the fact that they even use Dylan as a spokesperson at all. That also happens to be true, but I also happen to think that it tastes bad and I don't drink it
yeah,
anyway.
and to be honest with me, like I said, beer really has no weight in water to me because the fact that I'm just not.
I've had a good beer now.
I'm not
You
a beer
can't even-
drinker. Okay, I'm not.
I've had a good beer. I've
I've
had bad beers.
yeah.
But I've also like Bud Light.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Budweiser.
I've had stuff like that, but I've never gone out of my way to drink a Bud Light.
Oh, I definitely have never gone out of my
Yeah,
way.
like I've never went to the bar and said, "Give me a Bud Light" as opposed to a Budweiser or a Heineken or Amberbach or something else like that. I'd rather just go get a vodka or whatever, something like that, something straight.
We know you're a lush.
It doesn't make a difference. My point is that agreeing with what you just said, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it was a good move for
No.
Budweiser, and for two, not just because of who they got. Okay, it's the fact that
But it doesn't fit.
right, it doesn't fit. Just like
So-
he's an advertiser for Playtex, right? Now here's
for
Hold on.
Tampax.
here's the thing. If
For Tampax, for Nike Women's, and now
Right.
for Bud Light.
And so now, when you're doing this stuff, let's just say specifically for Tampax, right? That is geared towards women, specifically.
So is Nike Women.
I understand that, but I mean that can go
not just Nike, but Nike Women. Like they send
Right.
sports bras to wear.
right. But I'm spotlighting the Tampax thing. Okay. Now in the videos that I've seen with this person, I have seen him describe how to put in a tampon, and also describe how he was in the bathroom. He or she, whatever you want to call them, was in the bathroom
I call them.
and heard another female in the bathroom and then handing a tampon to the person because of the fact that they didn't have a tampon.
Right.
Now, to
Well,
me,
he
that's,
talks about these things, but
Right.
these things don't actually happen.
but still, that's kind of creepy in its own right. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And for two, if you're a big, regardless of the subsidiary flavors of product that you have, you
Flavors?
are.
You better not be putting tampons
You know what
in
I'm
your-
talking about, like with the Bud Light stuff, okay? So amongst all that, okay, if you're the head, if you're the president of Budweiser itself, Anheuser-Busch, which, by the way, a couple days ago, the CEO of
He committed
Budweiser,
suicide.
no, he quit. He resigned. Because I'll get to my point about that in a minute. But the thing is that no matter what, I mean, again, just last year for the Super Bowl, they played a phenomenal ad on the TV about how all different American sexes, whatever, are enjoying a Budweiser. It was like an American institution. It was built upon America, right?
Built upon Budweiser.
So when you have
Anheuser-Busch, a German
right,
company.
and when you now it is because it's owned by whatever it's whatever the fuck his name is, but when you sit there and you built this brand about being an all-American beer and being this rugged, very,
Owned by Germans.
yeah, whatever. And then you bring in something,
American beer.
and then you bring in something like this to where it's like, all right, here's the problem. It might be a good marketing thing on paper, but here's two problems. One, are we going to lose sales? And two, if it doesn't work out, how can we
back
cut our
out?
ties?
Right.
Which they can't. They
can't.
And any company that unfortunately, any company that does this type of marketing, right, is for one going to get backlash regardless. Okay. But for two, right, now here's the problem. Because it's a big company, and if you decide to end or terminate the marketing campaign with said person or whoever it is that you're doing it with, then now you're going to be called a bigot, a liar, a cheat, and you're just going to transphobe, and they're going to put your name through the mud.
Or put you through it.
Instead of going, hey, this is Budweiser, Mr. Mulvaney, or Mrs. Mulvaney, however you want to call yourself, I'm sorry, it's just not working out. It's not you. It's our clientele which pays our bills, and we just have to go to it. It's like a TV commercial. When a TV commercial only goes so far, they sit there and say, "Listen, this is not working out. We're going to end it all." You know what I'm saying? So,
well, for all we know, they only signed him for the one campaign.
Right, but still, you have this much backlash.
And that's the thing. I heard a statistic, and again, it's hearsay because I just heard it. I don't know how true it is, but something like 90% of their client base is right-wing Republican.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
And they are totally against this. So what were you trying to prove? Go ahead. What was your question?
I'm sorry, but and it's not you. It's everybody that talks political and all this other bullshit that people talk about. They always have to deem it whether it be right or left. Why can't we just deem it as the public?
At the moment, it matters.
I know,
but
I'm saying,
it actually matters, and it's because we're so divided that it matters that you say something like that.
I know, but what I'm saying
is, it shows you the mentality of the person. I suppose it shows you where their head's at in a way.
Well, to me, this is I'm not even political. This is where my head's at.
Right.
I don't give a shit about if it's right wing, left wing.
You hear Belly call you a right wing conservative.
I don't give a shit what he calls me. He can call me fat for all I care.
My point is that the way that you stick up for what you're sticking up for at the moment is making. I mean, it's the same thing. My dad says I'm a right wing, and I'm like, I'm really not though. I'm just doing what I feel like is right. I'm saying what I feel like is right. Period. Exactly. Whatever, regardless. Right. I'm saying the same thing as you.
You're saying your opinion,
but they're not seeing it that way.
And I think that's more of the problem.
It is a big part of the problem.
More of the gasoline that adds to the fire, because instead of solving the problem, right?
But they prefer the gasoline.
I understand that.
They prefer the explosion,
right? And
they want to actually solve the problem,
right? Because they want to continue it on. They want to see how long this.
It doesn't help if it ends right now.
Mm-hmm. They want to see how long this ship can sail.
How much can they get? How much are they willing to come off as far as like they being the powers that be?
And I'm sorry, but
I don't even know if it's a conscious thought, but it's definitely happening.
It is. It's happening every day. I mean, you can't just sit there and okay, I'm going to put it to you like this. And I know we've talked about this for a couple of weeks now. And I know it's beating a dead horse.
Well,
but
and I have answers today.
Right. Oh, you have it. That's right. We're going to get into your as they.
I have a big announcement. I actually have answers today. I got them all.
Is it safe to say that I don't even know what this means, to be honest with you, but is it when I hear the word woke, I'm thinking, okay, you just woke up from drinking the juice, but apparently that's not what it is.
I
So
mean, you can think of it that way.
okay,
Sure.
so are you woke then? Is that what the deal is? I mean, come on, I don't know what to do.
Am I woke?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that what that means? Being woke?
I think I've woken up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've woken up a little bit. I now have the answers. I think I can answer them as long as they're posed properly.
Yeah.
And they don't trigger me.
By the way,
course.
813-922-8624. If you want to call in, weigh on these subjects that we talk about, or any other subject that we talk about, we can certainly do that. And just call into the show and talk live. Just keep it quick. You know, you ain't got to get into a whole little political bullshit. Just keep it quick. Because really, to be honest with you,
I'm trying to squash the political bullshit.
yeah, I mean, to be honest with you,
ASAP.
I'd like to have conversations with the people without having the political thing and thrown in there. Okay, because when you start doing that, okay, it doesn't work out for anybody, because then what's going to happen is now you're going to go, well, right, left, you're speaking right. Who gives a shit? Just speak about what your mind is, okay?
I do, because you right-wing conservatives are really getting on my nerves.
I just want to have a conversation where it's like, hey, Bob, how you doing? Great. You know, we could talk about this without getting into political talk. You know, you could have that conversation, I think.
That was like 2003 to
Yeah,
2006.
I know. Now it's like,
go get a time machine.
everything you do, I got to tie my shoe. Wait, you're left wing. You're conservative. You're whatever. What the fuck? I'm just tying my shoe, dude. You know?
Yeah, well, you know, you've been over the wrong way and you're wearing Uggs, so
Yeah. So I mean,
obviously you're taking a political
listen,
stand.
I'm wearing slip-on. So what does that tell you? I mean, come on.
Look,
Even the tie.
Belly wants to know free market capitalism, what's the problem?
Oh God, here we go again. Okay.
And of course he's being facetious.
It's not political, dude. I don't understand what you don't get about this. It's not political.
But so they've made everything political.
I understand
therefore,
that.
I mean, it's all painted in political light.
Right, but what I'm saying is it's a
And by
bad.
the day, I'm including myself.
Right.
I mean, the more we talk about this, the worse the more it perpetuates. Period.
Yeah, it's a bad marketing campaign. That's all it is. You know.
Well,
No matter who
it's one that's going to affect society.
Yeah, it is.
In a large way, in a big way.
But look
in a way that's maybe even uncontrollable. Right. What seems like innocent and fun right now, Belly, will eventually turn into holy shit, what happened? We can't control this anymore. They've gone off the rails, and we're already there. But we're calling it, you know, what's the word? Like, come on, inspiring, and we're calling it powerful. We're calling them, you know, we're calling it a journey, and you know, it's just fucking mental health issues.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, when stuff like this happens, your whole body is controlled by your mind, your breathing, your muscles, your heart rate. Everything, involuntary and voluntary, doesn't make a difference. Your body is controlling that. Okay? I mean, your mind is controlling that. So when we talk about gender dysphoria, yeah, that might be a real thing. That you know, in the mind, that might be a real thing, because the mind can think of anything.
There's an argument to say that it's not.
Okay, well then maybe it is not.
The argument is that if you go to a third world country and you ask them, what if a guy thought he was a girl?
Belly, just to answer your question,
hold
on, just to answer your question, I saw your comment that says I won't call because I won't get hung up on. I'll jump on Zoom. Yeah, you could jump on Zoom if you want to, but you know, listen, I am the host of the show. I am the man in charge.
We're already going.
All right. If I want to cut the conversation quick, that's what I'm going to do.
It's a Tuesday.
So
baby.
don't sit there and threaten me about you're not going to call in because you don't want to get hung up on. That's fine, buddy. I don't care. All right.
I mean, technically, he still could just kick you out of the thing too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're not on the group thing. We're on his personal.
Who's personal?
Yours.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't make a difference if you call in or not. If we don't like the conversation, I'll still hang up on you. I mean, it doesn't make a difference, bud. You know, I mean, it's.
But in my mind, I want to hear the alternative argument. I want to hear what they have to say.
But see, it's not just Belly though.
Process it.
Right, but it's not just Belly that I would do that. It'd be anybody. You know,
but it doesn't even matter. So we don't even need Belly anymore, because here's my news. Are you ready?
Listen, I was going to say that for the second segment, but I mean, you got me all ears now.
I was too, but we're already here. We're in the moment. I got to do it.
Do I got to set you up?
No, we're set.
Okay. All right.
So I hung out with a trans person last Saturday,
Interesting.
and it made me realize that I too am
Are
a trans
transgending?
person. I identify now as a Latina lesbian. And I can answer any questions. Go.
Hold
Any
on.
questions you have, I'm obviously the authority. I don't know what's funny about that. I'm wearing a dress as we speak.
Are you? Well, I'm
I'm
wearing
drinking a Bud Light.
I'm wearing
right
a
now.
thong, trying to figure out where to put the tampon at.
Oh, I got
Because of
one
you,
of
I'll
those.
always know what a grown man with baby balls looks like.
Yeah, pretty much. Thank you.
I've got mine in a jar now. You can have it.
Oh, you saved your testiculars. Is that what you did?
Oh, yeah, of course I did.
Oh, you had the surgery too.
Oh, I went all out, buddy.
Oh, wow.
50 Gs, 50 big ones.
Damn.
Did it over the weekend.
Wow. Did you?
I didn't do the voice, though. I figured
No.
I really like my voice.
Did you do the testosterone shots too, or what?
So, well, I'm getting
hormone
estrogen,
shots.
Yeah. So, I mean, my voice will be changing, over time.
Will it
But,
get
but
deeper,
yeah, right
or-
now I'm loving my titties and.
Oh, nice. What size?
Yeah.
What size bra you in, bud?
Hey, that's a little personal.
No, I mean, listen. If we're sharing stuff, I mean.
We're not sharing that far.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
Only from my lesbian cuties.
Oh.
Your entire generation fucked this planet into a coma. Boom! Spoiler alert.
Pretty much.
I'm
That's
working
where
on
we're
it,
going.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
So rudimentally, I mean, here's the thing. Okay, Budweiser didn't make, I think, in my mind, a bad marketing choice. Okay, because you don't want to upset the people who are paying your paychecks. Okay.
Well,
And-
why not? If you follow Disney's model, it's perfect.
Yeah, but Disney outreaches a lot of people. You know, Bud Light
I know.
Bud Light only reaches a certain clientele. Like you don't see kids at Disney drinking Bud Light.
They would if they could.
They would if they probably could. The parents probably give it to them and
They
say,
were
"Shut the
girls.
fuck up," you know.
Only girls like Bud Light, from what I understand.
Really? Oof.
Yeah, and ever since I became a woman, I've been liking Bud Light.
Are you a
so-
12 packer now?
Yeah. I drink like 12 a day.
Jeez, I can't even get through one.
I'm a fat girl, but I'm a girl.
So you know, it doesn't make to me. It doesn't make a difference whether you're right wing, left wing, conservative, revolutionary, Hamilton. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And in business like this, you have to outweigh those costs. You know, when you're sitting there thinking about this in your marketing think tank, and you go, "Hey, listen, we've got Matthew McConaughey that is well known." And then we got this Dylan Mulvaney guy that's just coming up in the social scene, and he just celebrated his year-long being a woman. Who's going to make us more money?
So, and let's be real. He called it Days of Girlhood. He's never called himself a woman. He thinks he's.
That's what I've heard on the
thinks he's a
videos.
12-year-old
Yeah.
girl.
He said that he celebrated his 365th day of being a woman,
Right.
which is
He thinks he's a prepubescent 12-year-old girl. Look at the way he acts.
I know,
He acts like
but he's an
fucking-
actor. That's the whole thing. He's also an
Well,
actor.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
He's not really a good actor, but he's an actor.
I mean, he was a stage actor. He was like a Broadway actor.
Yeah.
He sang and
He
wore a little
danced.
costume, whatever. Right.
He shook his
There's
cojones
nothing
everywhere.
wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem becomes when you're trying to convert a bunch of kids that are confused and don't know any better.
Uh-huh. And you know,
And
there's
that's my whole point. Like the whole time he's been going through it, he might be calling it womanhood now, but the whole time he was going through it, he was getting heat because he was calling it girlhood.
yeah. And women are getting pissed
He
about
was
this.
acting like a fucking moron. Like he was running around like he was on Blue's Clues or something, and like, oh my god, look at the pretty colors, like
And
a
that's-
friggin' retard.
and
Like
that's-
not like a grown person at all. Whatever you want to call yourself, boy, girl, banana. It doesn't matter. You were acting like an idiot, and you were obviously targeting kids that are just looking at bright lights and colors and sounds.
Right, exactly. And the thing is that, you know, all this stuff that we've talked about, I want to say probably about 80% of the people who are involved in this type of conversation doesn't really know the dark side of it. Okay.
They don't want to know.
Well, I think
They're
some
pretending
of
it doesn't
them.
exist.
I
They're
think
telling
that.
us that it doesn't exist.
Well, I know, but I think that some people don't know it because they're going, "Oh yeah, you're this and whatever." Because
Well,
there was one
so
person.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with exactly what you're getting at when you're like, I don't want it to go anywhere political. The problem is that it is, because no matter what you say,
Exactly.
it itself is a political stance,
Yeah.
one way or the other. So
Yeah.
if you say this or that, it determines what side you're on. And then when you say something that they don't like and they have no argument for, oh, well, you're just a right retard, or you're just a left,
Or you're a bigot, or
you're
whatever.
a libtard, right?
Yeah.
You're either a libtard or a republicard, or I don't know what they call us, but. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally just, oh, okay, well, so now the conversation's over because you're just on the other side, and that's that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, okay, well,
It's like, well, okay.
if you sit there and ask and just be curious about what
So
you're
not
going
allowed.
through this. Yeah, that's
only
what,
a few people, and that's what I love about Belly. Only a few people are you actually allowed to talk to
that's true. I mean,
that'll actually respond.
Yeah.
Whether it's a response you like or not is not the point.
And I know-
that's never been the point.
Right.
We're allowed to disagree with each other.
exactly. That's what makes us humans. And
Right.
and that's one of the things I was trying to convey last week was that, I have no problem, like I've said before, no problem the way you want to live your life. Okay. I don't care who you like. I don't care, if you're cool with me and you're not, like pushing your stuff onto me, like I wouldn't be pushing my stuff onto you, then we have no problem. But if you have somebody that's just curious because you say that I go by he, she, or they, them, or idiots, whatever pronoun you want to come up with from the English dictionary to describe yourself, okay, then naturally humans are going to be curious. So if you're not opposed to, okay, for example, back in the day, if you called a gay person the F word or whatever, then you were considered, homophobic, right?
Well, you were definitely considered rude.
Right, but if you
That's
sat
what
there and
say.
said, "Listen, I just want to know how you
I just
got to
wanna
this
call you
point,"
a F word.
right? And people will be really cool about that. But nowadays, when you sit there and go, you know what? I want to know how you came up with this. Like, how are you? What made you feel that you're non-binary? Is it a mind-altering thing? Did you just wake up and
I mean, it's a feeling. It's
well, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather hear it from the horse's mouth, not from.
Well, you are. I'm telling you.
No,
right
no,
now,
no.
I'm a black lesbian.
I'm
Or
talking
a
about.
Latino lesbian.
No, I'm talking about like from like a person who's going through this journey, right?
That's me. Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm saying I don't want to hear it from 50,000 people that are just chanting and crying and blah 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 blah.
That's why I got you, buddy.
Because here's the deal, that girl that was swimming, right?
Leah Thomas.
Yeah. Well, she got assaulted. No, not the other one. The other.
Yeah.
She got assaulted by another guy because this group was so pro transgender, and this is where it just falls off the fence, okay? Because people like that are not listening to what she's saying. She's not saying she's against transgenderism.
At this point, she probably is.
She's saying that all I want to do is let it be equal. Let it be fair. That's it. But yet they're streaming her and they're chastising her because they think that just because she said that, now she's against all whatever. And that is the most dumbest perception that you could do, because most gays and lesbians that I know are so cool that they will sit there and tell you and answer any questions that you have. But yet when you have this episode of this new thing, it's like somebody just pulled down your pants, stepped on your cojones, and slapped you in the face and called you Susie. Which is not the case. That's where I don't understand. If somebody is not using the correct verbiage that you want them to use, then why do you get mad?
Well, it's no longer freedom of speech.
Right, but then why do you get mad?
Well, but that's the thing. Like, they want to keep quoting like this or that about the Constitution, or how the rights aren't equal because they don't get to match whatever, and then the moment you're like, well, what about freedom of speech? They're like, what do you mean? You still have to call me a whatever.
Well, freedom of speech goes both ways. Okay?
Of course it does.
Freedom of
It's supposed
speech
to.
is, yes, you can have the freedom of speech, to call you a frog if you want to. I have the freedom of speech to say, you know what? I don't agree with the lifestyle that you're living by. I think that it's cool that you're on this journey, and I hope you work it out. But I don't have to agree with that.
I mean,
and that's the problem.
As a Latina lesbian, I feel oppressed every day that I wake up.
Yeah.
So
until we can solve that problem, to where people that are going through this transgenderism is cool about it and want to talk about it and to give information about it and not be so upset about it, then the world, the population, the mob will be able to have a civilized conversation.
Well, I mean, Belly's offering for a conversation right now.
Yeah, I know where his conversation is going to go. That's why I'm not really appalled.
Freedom of consequence. Look, there should be no consequences.
This is what I'm talking about.
Not to live in your delusion.
But this is what I'm talking about.
That has nothing to do with me. Why do you need my affirmation?
Yeah, why do you need
to tell you who you are?
Verification that you're a girl.
Yeah. No,
why do you need that?
We walk around saying, "Hey, man. Hey, girl." No, we say, "Yo, Jessica, I need this paper on my desk whenever you get a second."
Right.
Or, "Hey, Billy Bob Thornton, go act because you're a fucking actor." Like, we don't say.
Belly, you're not censored. You can call it any time you want to, buddy. But listen, this is my show.
I'm arguing with your freedom of consequence. Like, no, we're not going to get in a fight because I choose not to call you a toaster.
Right.
And if that's your plan, then your plan is violence.
Yeah, exactly.
You're literally just doing it for violence. So what are we actually talking about? Freedom or violence?
I think we're talking about violence.
I think we're talking about violence. I think we're just talking about forcing a way of life onto people, and that's the problem. Right. It's what everybody's upset about. It's not about being a transphobe. No. It's about being upset with you trying to force a way of life onto people.
Thank you.
People don't care.
Thank you. It's just like...
Go for it. Dress in girls' clothes if that's what you want to do. It has nothing to do with me, and I don't need to affirm it for you.
No, I don't need to sit there and verify that you're a male or a female. I don't care. Do you see me whipping out my junk all through my job verifying that I'm a male?
Now, to be fair, I do whip out my junk.
Do you really?
Pretty frequently.
Oh, can you hang a towel on it?
You know I do. But I'm an odd duck, okay? And he's right. Normal people don't walk around with the junk out.
No, they don't.
I'm very proud. I visit urinals with pride. You know what I mean?
My thing is, I don't understand
As
how.
a Latina lesbian.
Well, before we go to that, let me take a break. When we get back, oh God, I don't know where this is going.
He's like, I just can't.
I'm going to take a break real quick, kind of recollect our thoughts here, kind of get us back on the track. I don't know if we'll hear from Belly. You call the show, 813-922-8624, if you want to talk about stuff like this or other subjects we have on the docket. So, like him or not, DeSantis said, I'm not drinking any more Miller Lite.
Woo! That's his piss water anyway.
That's his official statement. You can quote him on that.
Quote him. Nobody drinks Bud Light.
All right, so stay tuned. Don't go away. We're up against words right now, so we'll be back in a minute. Don't go away. We want to hear from you. Be back in a minute. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. All right. Let's take a break. See you on the flip side.
Some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood, have a flight to Miami Beach or Hollywood. I'm taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in a New York State of mind. Movie stars in the fancy cars and their limousines. Been high in the Rockies, under the evergreens. But I know what I'm needing, and I don't want to wait so easy living day by day, out of touch with the rhythm and blues. But now I need a little give and take. The New York Times, the Daily News, whoa, comes down to reality, and it's fine with me, 'cause I've let it slide. I don't care if it's Chinatown or on Riverside. I don't have any reasons, left them all behind. Just in a New York State. So easy, living day by day, out of touch with the rhythm blues. But now I need a little give and take. The New York Post, Newsday too. It's fine with me, 'cause I've let it slide. I don't care if it's Riverhead or an Oceanside. I don't have any reasons, left them all behind. I'm in a New York state of mind. Greyhound on the Hudson River line. 'Cause I'm in a New York. State of flamenco dance. You know she dances while his father
Because of you, I'll always know what a grown man with baby balls looks like.
Cut up Maria. Show me some of that Spanish dancing. Pass me a bottle, Mr. Jones.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Bulls Radio Lounge,
Believe in anything. 'Cause
Social Reload Show.
I wanna be someone who
Welcome back. Oh, Mr. Jones and me.
tell each other fairy
It's a very good song by Counting Crows. If you remember those guys. Want to talk about the Boozy Pig? I'll share it on the screen right now. If you're over in the Cypress Street area, just go to 3255 West Cypress Street, and you'll see the Boozy Pig. The Boozy Pig comes with a lot of different things, a eatery and a butchery. It's a kitchen butchery shop. Their hours are 9 to 5, Wednesday through Thursday, Friday and Saturday 9 to 9, and Sunday 9 to 3. I can tell you right now that I have been there. Me and True Rocks have been there quite a few times for breakfast, and it is divine. Like, if you get the Cubano, the breakfast Cubano, oh my God, that is so delicious. 2 large protein sausage patties on a Cuban-sized bread with like fresh farm eggs, bacon. I mean the grits. Oh my God, the cheese flavored grits. Eat those all day long.
My favorite kind of sausage is protein sausage.
You like the protein sausage?
I like it better than the carbohydrate sausage.
So go check them out, the Boozy Pig. They're right there on Cypress. You can go check them out. Sometimes they have like $5. Oh, just look at that.
Oh, shit.
Our bourbon bread pudding. Oh, jeez. Makes my mouth water just now.
Fire me up 2 of those.
Yeah, bud. So you can get like $5 hot dogs there, or $5 sausage dogs. Look at the is it charcuterie board? Charcuterie board?
You know,
Oh.
I call it delicious.
So great. Go check. Look at this. This is their meats, like their sausage inside their cooler.
It's like perfectly coiled food.
Oh, it is so delicious. Like, had the sausage with mojo the other day.
Oh, did you? So you like the mojo?
Oh, the mojo's great if you cook it right.
I want to try it because to me, mojo, unless it's done right.
So one of it is they have a seafood option, right? It's a veggie shrimp from the Veggie Shrimp Corporation. Gulf shrimp kissed with lemon caper butter sauce over a house-made, is that tagliatelle pasta with lump crab. I don't know what lump crab is. Lump crab meat, and tender asparagus. Just look at that.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't know about the lobster meat or the whatever.
I don't do seafood. Not like that.
Here's the $5 one right there. So go check them out. 3255 West Cypress Street, right there on the corner. It used to be an old-time Spanish grocery store back in the day, but now it's the Boozy Pig, which I'm cool with that. So
Stay with me.
There's the
bodegas.
There's the $5 sausage right there.
Oh, Mark even likes this place, huh?
This guy right there. There's a couple Lightning players that have actually been there too. Got all kinds of meat. Stock their fridge with meat. Look at the steak.
Yeah, man.
Steak is just divine.
How many times would you say you and the wife have gone here?
Chewy Rocks, you mean?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, come on, Belly. If you're gonna jump on this ship and start throwing down whatever, not in the mood for it.
But no, let him in.
I don't want to hear the political side of it. That's the thing. It's like I'm tired of hearing about the political side of it.
Well, I was just about to start our new segment.
I know. I just saw that. So
you just did what?
I just saw the thing where he somehow got let in. Did you send him the text? You son of a bitch. God, you're a son of a bitch. That's what you are.
I'm over here gaslighting.
You're a fucking asshole. No, I love Belly. I think Belly's a good guy. I just think that his political banter gets in the
So
way.
you're not gonna let him talk?
No, I let him in. I let him
did?
in. Yeah. He just better be on
Alright.
good behavior. Son of a bitch.
Be on your best behavior, Belly.
Listen, I've got the dump button right here, buddy, and I can sit there and dump you all I want to if I want to.
Welcome to our latest segment, Talk with a Trans.
Don't-
I'm Monique.
Don't try me today, Sorry. Got a little bit off base there. So, yeah, going back to what we were going to talk about. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Well, let's let him lead the way. What are we talking about, Belly?
Belly, are you there? Satellites up? What's going on?
Yeah, I heard someone wanted to have a conversation.
Oh, here we go. He's already shooting shots across the bow.
And I guarantee I'm not going to say left.
Are you
right,
on
or
a
anything.
hold on? Are you on a Bluetooth device?
I might be.
Tell him Mama
Get
Monique
off the
we're talking
Bluetooth.
about.
Come on, you know that.
Oh shit! I have the wrong thing plugged in.
Jeez, this sounds like a freaking tunnel going through. Yeah, come on.
My bad.
Live radio. Get it together, bud.
He is
Is that
driving.
better? Is that better?
Yeah, finally. Jeez. How many years you been doing
I
this?
had two devices on.
Well, then shut off one of them.
Well, that's what I just did.
Listen, when you,
No, I
when you
Sounds like we're working now.
hey, listen, when you call on the show, you better be ready and hot and ready to go.
Oh my goodness, let's go.
That's
So
how we
let's
get
have
this
this
thing done.
conversation instead of stalling it. Come on,
Oh
let's have
God,
this
here we go. I have two other
And
stories.
I guarantee there won't be politics left or right said.
You said that last time. There's politics.
Because you asked me questions. that
I
were
asked you
political.
general questions. I didn't ask anything about politics.
So let's go. Let's do it. Let's go.
What do you want to know? I don't know. You called in. You tell me.
You said you want to have a conversation. and
No,
that's-
I
let's-
said I
let's
want to
a
have it. No,
conversation.
no. See, that's where you did not hear what
So
I
you don't
said.
want to have a conversation?
No, listen
I
to
do.
me. I said I would like to have a conversation with a.
That's what I just said.
Are you trans?
I
I'm
am.
not trans.
No.
but I
Okay,
can
so
be-
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Are
Why is
you?
nobody taking me serious?
Hold on. Are you going to be burden of proof then?
Yeah, I speak for all
Burden of-
trans.
if I make a claim, I will give burden.
No,
of
no, no, no.
proof.
Are you going to be the burden of proof? Because if you are, then that means the burden of proof is on you, which means.
If I make a claim.
Hold on. Which means that you are speaking for the whole transgender society.
If I make a claim to knowledge, that means
You're still doing the burden of truth, bud, or burden of proof.
Yeah, if someone makes a claim to knowledge, we
Yes,
haven't
but
even had a
but you're.
conversation.
I know, but you're
Like-
you're still speaking for them,
I'm not speaking. I'm speaking for me in my position.
right? Then that means you have the burden of proof is on you.
Yeah,
If I make
there's
a
something he
claim
needs
to
prove, we'll
knowledge.
pull it up.
Yeah.
So go ahead
If
with
I'm
your
just having a conversation.
go ahead with your because obviously you didn't hear the words that came out of my mouth when I said
I
I
wanna
want
have a
to
conversation.
see. Listen, here's what I said. I said I would like to have a conversation with a trans person, not with a belly person. That's what I
Matt
said.
says he wants to have a conversation.
I understand that, but see, that's where you misconstrued what I said. Okay,
Why are you getting so hot?
I'm not
Have a
getting hot.
conversation.
I'm not
You sound
getting
pretty hot. You sound pretty
Wow.
emotional.
Okay. All right. Well, if I sound hot and emotional, then you have no idea how I do this.
Well, then come on, let's go. Talk. Questions.
Listen. You're the one with all the quote unquote facts. I'm over here helping Matt be a trans person.
That's where you.
Can I
have
be
a burden
mediator?
of proof.
Will you guys stop and let me be mediator?
Yes, please, by all means.
Because I
14.
didn't
by
mention.
You
any
have the
facts at all.
you have the floor there, Matt.
Good. 14.
14.
Bell.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway. So, here we are. You mentioned earlier, Belly. This is for Belly.
Go ahead.
You mentioned earlier, it's not what you were talking about, as opposed to, or I mean, following the freedom, or the freedom to consequence or of consequence. Sorry, I was trying to find it for a second. And depending on a situation. And then you said it's not what you were talking about when I kind of flew off the handle a bit. Would you like to speak to that?
Yes. We have freedom of speech, and we also have consequences that come from our speech. Now, freedom of speech, as you guys were talking about, talks about the government persecuting you. The government can't persecute you, but you don't have the freedom of speech to say whatever in any situation that you want because there can be consequences.
For instance, bomb on an airplane.
Yes. Or for example, if you're at work, or if you're in some sort of setting where you got to answer to someone or in some shape or form, if there's a transgender person there and let's say by example you misgender them or something like that, so and they say I'm a he or she, or they correct you in some way, so they let it be known you're in a place of business, and then if it's a repeated behavior, then that becomes an issue where that person can feel disrespected and go to you guys' boss or whomever and say, I feel disrespected. I try to have a respectful conversation. They're not being respectful of me. And a lot of these companies have these rules in place where you have to respect all other employees, and they have.
I'm sorry. Can I interrupt one thing about what you just said? Because what you just said is partially true. Okay. The First Amendment. Will you shut up for one moment?
Well, okay. I want to know what's not true.
Okay, can you let me explain then instead of just firing off?
Go ahead.
Jesus Christ, I put you on mute. Here's the thing. For one, the First Amendment right of free speech is correct. You do not have that right specifically for certain situations. Okay? Now, because I have been through this, okay, and I didn't want to be through this, but I had to be. Okay, here's my take on it. When you sit there and you tell somebody that, again, I've explained this ad nauseum, that you have to use these words, okay? You have to. It's not a government thing. It's not a company thing. It's nothing. It's an employee to an employee, okay? That's where the problem lies. Because if you're demanding that they have to do that, then that is wrong. Secondly, we need to define misgendering, okay? Because misgendering is a broad statement, okay? And here's why. So the situation that I was in, I was having conversations, telling stories of my past career, okay? And somebody within the space, okay, and or a person that I may have been referring to, not knowing any of that, okay? That's how I got in trouble. All right?
So without beating around the bush, basically you misgendered somebody on
No, I did not. I did not misgender anybody.
I didn't follow any.
Hold on for what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Okay, well, I'm trying to be...
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to tell you, and this is going to tell you everything. For one, I was accused of doing that, which that never happened, because if you know me, I'm very respectful, and I will say yes, sir, no, sir, blah, 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 even if I hear a man or a woman's voice. It's just instilled with me, okay? Now, having said that, to say this, the person or persons did not make it clear of whatever word they want to use. Okay? If I was talking to a person or persons. Okay? So therefore, hold on. So therefore, I got labeled as a bigot, as a person that hates the LGBT plus community and hates greeters for some reason. Whatever the fuck that is.
And what?
I hate greeters too. For some reason.
Greeters or groomers?
Groomers. I'm sorry, groomers.
You should hate groomers.
No, anyways, and then on the other thing is that I didn't use the proper pronouns. Now, here's the thing. If you're in a conversation and you're not even talking about that, but yeah, you could tell by the physicality that, okay, they might swing on the other side of the fence, which is cool. But when you sit there and blame somebody for doing something they did not even do, okay, and then your bosses tell you that you have to just sit there and call them by their names on their whatever names they have. Hold on. That's where the problem is. because now the corporations don't want to follow suit, even though they know it's bullshit, okay? Because a lot of corporations handle this type of thing in every single department, which in HR, they have bigger things to deal with than this. So here's the problem. For one, yes, I'm going to say it is my First Amendment of free speech. Okay, because no, I don't have to sit there and do anything that you say. Hold on.
Time out.
Hold on. I don't have to sit there and do anything or say anything that revolves around said person's world, and vice versa. If I say that I am a frog, I say you have to. No, I don't have to. Okay, cool.
Okay, as mediator though, I don't want to get too convoluted before we give Billy a chance to retort.
It's just real simple.
What? It's not real simple because one, I wasn't talking about your situation. I was just talking about in general.
No, but I mean, maybe you can comment to it.
But that's a situation. But that's a situation.
Okay, I let you talk for that whole
I know,
time.
but that's what I'm telling you. That is a situation. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no strings attached. There's nothing like that.
Something I've always been taught in life, and this is no slight against you or anyone else. It's always, there's my side of the story, there's their side of the story, and there's the truth. So there could be certain things that you may have not have noticed. I'm not saying that you didn't, but could have been certain, and you're fine. I'm just trying to give you a logical answer, and I wasn't talking about yours. But you are absolutely correct. You have the freedom of speech to say whatever it is you want to say. If you don't want to abide by that, that's your right to do it. But you're not free from the consequence of your employer or whomever. It could be your mom if they make a rule for you or whoever, from levying down some sort of consequence for you being basically subordinate to your employer.
Okay, well, here's the thing, too. And speaking of that, I mentioned that, too. The corporations don't want, just like with Bud Light, they don't want to sit there and end the ad campaign because they'll have the same problem. Okay, so if corporations sit there and go, hey, I'm sorry, we just can't have that here. You're causing too much controversy with this whole thing. That's going to be a problem because if they let that person go, then they have a bigger problem with that.
See, now in my worldview, that is, you're making a claim to knowledge where you have to have a burden of proof. We don't know that for sure with Bud Light.
No, I'm not talking about Bud Light. I'm talking just in my situation alone. Okay, the problem is that corporations do not want to make the bad choice because if they do, they will get punished. Okay, and the same thing with here. The people that I have talked to, whatever situation that I was in, okay, they felt the same way. They thought it was bullshit, okay, and they know it's bullshit. But because of the fact of the world that we live in, okay, the corporations have to do it this way. Okay, they have to.
This is what you're doing. You're taking your one situation and you're applying it to every single situation.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if a person that got fired because they were transgendered, because they kept on going to HR and saying they weren't properly whatever, you don't think that that's a problem? You don't think that person that's
if the transgender
I'm
person
confused as to what you're asking.
I'm asking anybody. If you have a corporation, right, and in this day and age that you're so afraid to fire them because of their actions, okay, and every couple weeks they're in HR saying about blah 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 blah, okay, now it's a problem because
who's getting fired though?
It's hypothetical, guys. Get with the picture.
Hypothetically, who's getting fired?
It doesn't make a difference who's getting fired.
Yes, it does.
Listen, the person who is, oh, Jesus Christ. All right, I'm going to put it to you like this. If the trans person went to HR and said blah, 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 okay, then the corporations can't.
Somebody's misgendering me. This is very important.
Okay, let me put it in a more broader statement. If a transgender person went to HR, okay, and they complained about misgendering,
okay.
Now the conversation would go, well, is the person speaking to you or openly speaking?
No, they wouldn't ask that.
Well, because this is what happened. This is what happened to me. I was openly speaking, and I was not directly saying anything to anybody by misgendering anybody.
Sure, but what I'm saying is that the HR rep did not look at the trans person and say, did they say it to you or behind?
Well, I don't know what they said because it wasn't discussed with me. But when I explained to the HR person about what I'm explaining to you guys, the HR guy was like, you know what, you make a lot of sense, and this is a big problem.
Yes, but you're speaking to one individual.
No, I'm not speaking about one individual. I'm speaking about because the HR person that told me this said that they have the same problem in all different departments.
That's a bigger
Okay,
scale.
so if you want to put on a bigger scale, that same scenario, however you want to pronounce it, could happen on any corporation.
So
what's the scenario?
What I just described, what I just said.
So
here's my point. Here's my point. If the person who is offended by this, okay, or persons or groups or whatever, maybe if they took a different side of it and said, you know what, I'm not going to get pissed about this. It's just a word. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to educate the person about why I'm going this direction. Or why I'm, using this word. Because if a person doesn't know, how the hell do you expect them to know? If you ask the person, what are your pronouns? What's going to happen then? Well, they may get upset because you're singling them out. You see what I'm saying? It's like asking.
If you're playing the game,
it's like telling a female, saying, "Hey, are you pregnant?" No, I'm just fat.
So, again. Yes. I can't speak to your situation. I don't want you to divulge it or anything like that. So there's two things, maybe 3 points. One is if this was, and these are going to be my positions, if this was a one-time thing where, the person didn't have a conversation with you and they went to HR, I'm fully, okay, they didn't have a conversation with you to, just have a conversation. So I don't agree with that. Second thing is if they had a conversation with you and it was a repeat thing and then they don't feel respected, that's a totally different situation.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah. But
and then the you made me forget the last thing.
Sorry. But the thing is that there was no conversation post to me indulging in these stories of my career. Okay. These are just. And again, like I explained to a lot of different people, I'm very respectful. And people who know me know that I'm respectful outside of this particular studio. Okay? Because when I'm on the show, I'm playing a character. I'm playing a role. Okay? So my point is that we keep on going around because, the biggest thing that I hear from people is that no matter what you say, you're always misgendering somebody, okay? And that's not even the fact. Because if you're just respectful and just say yes, sir, or no, sir, or whatever, because that's what you're raised on, okay?
Sure.
Then if a person, or let's just say a person is coming towards you, you have no idea you're doing your own work and you hear them and you go, yes, sir, how can I help you? That's just a natural reaction if you're very respectful, okay? And the problem is that the people who are involved with this are so heated and so passionate about the wrong thing that is said that if it is, they're going to go tell Tom, Dick, and Harry and all this other shit and make your life a total hell.
Well, let me get a word in.
Good.
I would argue that you are just as passionately arguing to not just change your language a bit by saying their name instead of saying sir or ma'am. The equality goes both ways. And sure,
I was going to piggyback off
ridiculous at a point when they want to be toasters and whatever. But if it's been now said to you, like, hey, just say James, then just say James. It becomes a non-issue.
Yeah,
it's like in a marriage when you have. They're like, oh, don't die on that hill. Just go ahead and let them win that one. Like that's such a minor thing in the big grand scheme of things. If you blow up on this thing, then when it's time to matter,
right,
you're going to be overlooked.
And see, my thing is,
and I want to say, what up, Ozmet?
Right. If you're happy the way you live your life, like a lot of people,
I want to piggyback off of Matt.
Okay, I know a lot of people in the LGBT community. And and most of the people say the same thing. They're happy the way they live. Right?
Yeah.
They don't care if somebody, whatever. They're not going to sit there and blow up because of the fact if you misgender. I mean, I know trans people that are sit there and go, I just want to live my life. I don't want all this crap. I don't want all this horrible, disgusting.
Whatever. Hey, now we're vamping now, and I want to get to Belly, but I just want to say that's how you know that's how you know a real one from a bandwagoner.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
exactly.
Belly.
Because, like I said, they sit there and go, you know what? I just want to live my life. I just want to enjoy my life peacefully, happily, and that's it. That's my question is, why do people involved in this world, why do they get so upset about that? There's
Because
more,
they're fake.
but there's more things in this world to be upset than that.
Yes, that's how you know they're fake.
And people who stick up for this, they need to ask themselves too, what the hell is going in their lives that this thing, because you said he and it was a she. Come on.
Well, we're trying to get to one of them right now.
You?
Go ahead, Billy.
So to piggyback off of what Matt said, and what you said too, Bull. Like again, I don't know the situation. I don't know if it was a one-time thing. Like I said, if it was a one-time thing, I don't agree with the whole, them throwing the book at you or whatever. But if it was a one-time thing and they corrected you, or in that moment, and you could also, to piggyback off of what you said, Bull, about them educating you and and making you feel more at ease. Once that misgendering happened, you could have been, oh, I apologize, going forward, I'll do this. Then you can try to learn more about whatever and etiquette in that way too. So, I mean, it's like a double-edged sword. They could do their part and you could do the part.
But it starts with them. Okay.
I'm going to agree with that 100%.
It starts with them.
I'm not going to go around asking what somebody's pronouns are because
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Well, even if you don't, and let's just say you misgender somebody, they get all upset. Why? Why are you getting all upset about that? What is the point of it?
So I will say this: when I was hanging out with the trans person on Saturday, they dropped their vape at one point, and I go, "Oh, he dropped his vape," and it was completely instinctual. It was not on purpose. It wasn't to be rude.
Right.
And, we'd already been hanging out for hours at this point. Everything was cool. Everything was fine. Everything was fine the whole night. And as a matter of fact, he either didn't. Oh, see, and I just did it again. But they either didn't notice or, they just kind of like let it roll. And it's like, exactly.
But is it that
you're dealing with the human element?
I understand that,
you're actually dealing with a person and not the internet.
But does it really? I mean, really though. I mean, come on. Out of all the stuff that they're going through right now, is misgendering somebody really that big of a deal?
It could be to them, Bull.
Yes, but you know what? Hey, listen.
Shoes,
people call names to each other all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Okay. And people also say "God damn it," and people get offended by that.
Yeah, exactly. But not like this. Okay, this is beyond the norm. This is like
I know parents that have like shunned their children for.
This is. Can I make another point?
Yeah.
I think Bull, like especially with COVID and stuff, you used to dig on me about stuff about drinking the media juice. You only see what the media wants you to see. Blah blah blah. I think you're in this vortex of seeing all these triggered people getting, having these arguments and getting so emotional. I think you're trying. I'm not saying trying, but I think you're kind of lumping everyone into everyone's like that, and it's a spectrum. It's just not like that.
Well, here's the thing, Belly. Here's the thing. Okay, I understand where you're coming from, and I appreciate that you're standing up for them, which is fine.
I'm not standing. I'm just coming at it from a
no. But this whole thing just seems like you're just. It doesn't make a difference. What makes a difference is this.
Say what you gotta say.
No. Here's the thing, and this is the bottom line. Okay, if you want to go on that journey, that's great. Like I said, I don't care. I'm happy for you. If this will make you happy, then that's great. I'm really happy for you. Okay? Like I can't tell you how ecstatic. If this is going to make you happy, this is the happiness. Okay? But do you have to get upset about it? Like people call
No
me
one has
fat
to
all.
get upset
Listen,
or
people
happy
call
about
me. Listen,
anything.
hey, people call me fat all the time, and I know I use this example a lot. Okay, but
Good reason.
it doesn't bother me.
But that's you. Bull.
I understand that,
Who-
but
who
listen.
are you to put your
No,
your
but it's not. But it's not
expectations
just
on other
that.
people?
Listen, it's not just that. It's the logistics of it. If people didn't get upset over the dumbest things like that, then we would have a better outcome with this thing.
You're dealing with people that
I understand that, but what I've just said, if the people do not get upset for things that they pulled out of the English dictionary, okay, to use on their own, that's fine if you want to do that. But if you just don't get upset about it and take another look at it and go, hey, listen, you're fine with what you said, but this is what I prefer. That's the whole point. But to sit there and jump ship and start firing shots off the bow because somebody used a word, whatever the case may be, okay, that's a problem. That's a very big problem. Because you could just...
Definitely leads to a problem.
Yeah, but you could just sit there and tell somebody, hey, listen, it's cool. I don't deal with that. Okay, cool. No big deal. No problem. But when you sit there and force it on somebody, that's a problem.
Okay. I think, now hear me out. You're trying to project what you want to happen.
No, I'm trying to project about what the world needs to do, not what I need to do. I'm happy with what I'm
We're
doing.
dealing with a flawed species and human
We're not dealing with a
beings where
flawed
we are-
species. We're dealing with people
Jesus
that...
Christ, man.
No, listen, we're not dealing with a flawed species, bud. Okay? We're dealing...
Yes, we are. Humans are flawed.
No, we're
I'm
dealing...
not talking
we're,
about transgenders.
we're dealing...
I'm talking
we're-
about people in general.
Okay, then that's fine. But what I'm saying is that we're dealing with a subject matter that has gone way off the Richter scale. Okay? If this is the new trend, if this is the new movement, okay, then we don't need to be blasting people for not using the proper them, they, blah, blah, blah. And ruining their lives, ruining their jobs, ruining their reputations, and ruining the businesses that they have just because you didn't use a whatever.
I mean,
How else do you make
I
a
think
point?
I think you're kind of bringing the personal thing into
No,
this. and I'm
dude,
not-
listen. It's you look on the news and it's everywhere on the news.
Okay, so now that you said that, so back
Jesus
to when you used
Christ.
when you used to dig on me about COVID that I drink the media juice and everything sensationalized.
Yeah, you did.
You don't think that's happening on this end with you?
Everybody does it, bud.
Oh, so
Everybody
so
drinks
you're-
the juice.
Okay, so you can admit that you're falling for the game then.
For the hype.
No, I can admit that I'm thinking clearly and I'm thinking with a clear
That's not
mind.
what you just said.
Jesus,
Matt, back
dude.
it up.
Yeah, that is. I mean, he's right. That's kind of where that led
What?
to.
What? That I'm what?
Say it, Matt. Go ahead, Matt. Say it.
That-
You guys want to hear it from me.
In the same way that he was quote unquote drinking the media juice with COVID, and it all turned out to be nonsense. In the same way, he argues you may be drinking the Kool-Aid.
Why? Because I'm seeing kids being performed by
Right. So what he's saying is.
So
that
what
for
I'm
all
saying
you
is-
know- no time out. Let me talk. For all you know, it's being sensationalized and presented to you in such a way that looks like it's outrageous. And
And for the
I've
sources that you
myself.
use.
Oh God, here we go. Okay, I
That's
could
true.
use a trash can for a source, and you'd say the same thing.
No,
It's
listen,
true,
bro.
Bull.
Listen, dude. The problem is this. Okay,
Great.
if the problem is this, here's the deal. I don't listen.
Matt's backing me up with what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you both
bro.
back each other up. You don't back me up.
I'm not.
I'd back you up if you made some sense.
Oh God, I don't. Okay, all right. Since I guess I'm not making sense, then that's fine.
No, dude, we're just trying to.
No,
point
no.
out
What it
that-
is that you're trying to make me look bad. Okay.
No, I'm not, Bull. I
Listen,
just
hey,
said that-
listen, shush. You're trying to make me look bad, and every time I make a point, you always counterpoint with it. Okay?
That's what the point of a
is the
conversation
point,
is.
No,
yeah.
but here's the thing. It's not that hard when you sit there and look at a video and you have toddlers looking at a guy dancing in front of them.
Correct.
Half
That is
naked.
awful. That is awful. And this is leading to the point I was trying to make.
And you can't sit there and tell me that castrating kids is not a big thing.
Definitely.
We circumcise kids.
That's different,
How is
dumbass.
that different? How is that different?
You're not cutting
It
off
is
their.
different, but
You're not
it's
cutting
also
off their
fun.
parts.
You're mutilating.
You're
part
not
of their
cutting
actual
off their.
skin.
You're not cutting
You
off
are
their
mutilating
parts.
genitalia, though.
You are mutilating genitalia.
Listen. All you're doing is taking off the excess foreskin.
It's still mutilation.
If it wasn't supposed to be there, it wouldn't.
But
be
yes,
there.
but you're not giving chemicals to kids to castrate them.
So you just tie something around their dick. And
Oh,
you saw
God,
off a
here
part
we
of
go.
their dick
Oh God.
in the name of religion.
I want my foreskin back. They never asked if
I don't give a shit about my foreskin. Keep it, take it off. It don't matter. But just don't cut off the parts.
Your whole thing is I make a point, you make a counterpoint. That's the point of having one debate and two adult conversation. If we just sat there and everyone agreed with each other, everything would be kumbaya. I'm just trying to.
I didn't say
be
agree with
outside
it.
Of your, outside
I
of the
didn't
bubble.
listen. I did not say agree with it. Okay.
Hey, we got 6 seconds. We'll be right back after these messages.
Maybe without Billy. Don't know yet. Trying to figure that out. Stand by. Trying to find a music to go by. Let's do this.
We'll do it again. Over. Laying down one night, heard Papa tell Mama. Heard Papa tell Mama. Let that boy boogie. Hey, 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 hey. The enemy. And it got to come out. I felt so good. Went on boogie just the same. Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down off of your feet.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk, and I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk, and you talk that talk. You knocks me out off of my feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. How, 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 how. How, 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 how. Hey, hey. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk and talk that talk. You knocks me out.
It begins soon. Please stand by. Warning, warning, warning. The following broadcast is not intended for regular radio. Please disengage your audio console immediately.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Warning, warning, warning. The following broadcast is not intended for regular radio. Please disengage your audio console immediately.
See, here's the thing. We're both here right now. So sexy. We have to party all night. It's a tap room. We have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no.
Bulls Radio Lounge, Social Reload Show. What's going on? How are you? On this Tuesday night, about to wrap up our final segment. Got Madden Savior in the line. You there, Matt? Oh, there he is. I think I had a revelation during the break. I really did. I think I did.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Yeah, I think that I am the asshole, and I think
you might sometimes.
And I think in
I mean,
this,
we all are.
I think in this story that I've just told that happened many, many months ago, I think that that you know what, Belly, you're right. Everybody else is right. I am a bigot. I am an asshole, and I should not be respectful, and I should just bend over, and take it up the.
Take it up the hoo-ha.
The hoo-ha, the
well,
the eye that blinks and not the one that stinks.
All that's true. I wouldn't say all that's true.
Well, listen,
and
here's why. The more I talk about this, and the more and more I go, listen, we just need to have, if we're going to have a conversation, blah, 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 blah. You guys heard it countless times before, okay? I'm tired of sitting there trying to defend myself, because every time this subject gets brought up, it's always, well, what did you misgender the person for? Which I did not.
Well, so hold on. It doesn't, hold on. You didn't have to misgender the person.
I understand
directly.
that. I'm just saying, in my defense, I'm just going to say that I'm the asshole, I'm the bigot, I'm the dick, okay? Because no matter how I put the story, no matter how I try to get this thought out of my head, it always seems to be turned around that I did this horrible thing.
I don't think you said any of that, Billy.
No,
I don't agree with what you're saying. You're like, okay, well, fuck it. I guess I'm just everything that they say I am. Fuck it, and that's not gonna help anything either.
Well, no, I'm just tired of telling my story and then get looked at as, well, maybe you did this. No, it's not maybe. It's the fact that when I talk to people, I'm respectful. That's the whole point.
It's not respectful if they don't find it respectful.
I understand that. But how do I know if I have no idea?
No, the perfect analogy is when you say yes, ma'am to somebody and being respectful, and then they bark back at you like, don't call me ma'am, that makes me feel old or whatever, which happens to you. I know it does, because it happens to me. I'm a respectful person.
Right.
So,
but that's what I'm saying. And
it's the same idea.
Right.
And some people legitimately get upset about it. They're like, don't call me sir, don't call me man, that makes me feel old or whatever. And it's like, okay, fair enough. And then from that point on, I don't, I try to avoid saying sir or ma'am to them. It's the same idea.
Yeah.
And in this this argument,
but here's
for your personal situation, for all you know, you were talking to somebody in a perfectly innocent conversation, and in that they found hostility towards whatever they, the toasterness that they feel inside or whatever. And so they're allowed to just be like, oh, such and such is such and such, and people just believe it right now because it's the hot ticket item.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. Whenever this subject gets brought up, no matter who you're talking to, about what story, about what happened, the biggest thing that gets brought up, and Belly, you've said this before, what did you misgender them for?
What did you misgender them for?
I did not. Nobody did. Nobody plans to. But here's the counterpoint to what you were saying with the whole yes, ma'am, and whatever. Yes, that is true. Okay, and if you don't like that's perfectly fine. Right. But here's the problem: you don't sit there and see them going, "Oh my God, I want to do this," and because you did that. No, they just say, "Hey, no big deal."
But so we're in a moment in time when they're trying to prove a fucking point. And in order to prove a point, you just got to be the loudest motherfucker out there. So anytime something happens, let's make a point out of it. That way later we can be a little bit more lax because we've already made our point.
Right. And that's not right. Because here's the other problem. When you sit there...
Yes.
What?
So and it sounds like I'm on their side, and obviously, like, we all know where I stand. At least I think we do. If you've never, it's your first time on the show, this is kind of counter my normal point or whatever, but... on behalf of them and every other thing that's ever come, it's all of the revolutions, all of the changes of cultural ways or whatever have started in a very extreme way.
True.
You know what I mean? Like we had a civil war to get rid of slavery, which was a literal war, people dying, killing their brothers and their cousins.
Which
and
we're
whatever.
still dealing with that now. Like,
well, in a way, yeah.
If you look at the categorized of deals of things that we've had in our human history, like this and COVID would be number one, COVID would be number two. Okay? And here's why. Because with social media and blah, 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 everything's 10 times more than what they have to, right? Now we're forgetting about the stuff that we really need to care about. Okay? Instead of saying, well, you're this, 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 and this, right? Why don't you sit there and just go, you know what? It's cool what you have to say. And I'm not saying that you have to. I'm just saying as an example. Just say, hey, that's cool if you want to, I'm not getting upset over that. Okay? You're still my friend, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to get upset over that. The problem that I have is when you sit there and force this stuff on people. And then you sit there and force this stuff on people to a point where they lose income. They lose their jobs. They have to shut down their business because you've got not just one person on this bandwagon. Now you've got 50. And then when you include Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that crap, now you've got the whole world against you. That's my point. We don't have to go down that road.
About things that actually matter, like taking care of the earth.
Yeah. Or why don't you go get your car fixed? Or why don't you go get your teeth fixed? Or why don't you go do something else, okay, that's going to make you more mad than somebody not using the proper verbiage? Because I think as humans, that is a thing that we're lacking. We're not taking care of ourselves. You know, I played a video clip before the show started. And it's Matthew McConaughey's 5 points of survival, or in his worlds, right?
Right.
And one of the things was he talks about how, what is it called? Return of investments.
Oh, right? Yeah, ROI, yeah.
So he's saying in your life, right, get that return investment. Don't leave breadcrumbs. And this is what's happening. When you sit there and destroy people's lives because of the fact that they don't believe in what you believe in, or they don't sit there and think that you're right, or whatever the case may be, they speak their opinion on it, it's not wrong, it's not right, but it's still their opinion. I don't understand how that's such a hard concept to understand. We can have a conversation without having the whole fireworks, without getting people fired, without having people losing their jobs and companies. I mean, look at the Black Lives Matter. They sat there and raided people's businesses, and they were black too.
Well, right.
So that's my point. It's like, when do we stop? When do we stop this bandwagon, this charade? The points that they're making is that men can get pregnant, that they're calling females bigots and biased because they can give birth and breastfeed. I mean, really? You guys came out of the same vaginal canal as any other person does. But see, that's again my point. Is when did we forget about stuff that we've learned?
Well, they don't want kids anymore. Like, it's not cool to. They've done a good job at it too, in my mind. And again, this could all be propaganda, but the nuclear family is the thing of the past. They don't want you to have the dad, the mom, and and it's unpopular amongst the youth anyway. Now, a lot of them are terrified of having kids,
which is fine if you
both
don't
physically and because they feel like they're not capable. And I'm gonna have to agree with them. The ones I've met are not capable.
Yeah, and that's fine. But you know what? Don't shun somebody just because they don't agree with you.
Agreed.
Okay.
There's you don't intend to. At least I don't.
Right. I don't intend to make anybody mad.
No.
Okay.
If I can avoid it, I will. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to, I want to just live too. I don't want any part of your drama, just like you
Listen.
don't want any part of my heterosexuality.
Right. I've got more things to worry about than I'm sorry to say this is going to sound like a dick thing to say, but then I have a lot of problems that I'm dealing with now. You know,
mostly with his sexuality.
Yeah, with my sexuality. I can't figure out. Can't figure out if I'm a frog or a donkey or a horse or whatever. Apparently, Belly thinks I'm a jackass.
He's really worried about his heterosexuality.
I guess. All right. Here's a thing that Matthew McConaughey says: "Don't leave breadcrumbs."
Don't leave crumbs. And the beauty of delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification. That's what he's talking about.
Or the crumbs I'm talking about are the choices that we make that make us have to look over our shoulder in the future.
See, and that's one good finer point right there. The stuff that's happening now is making everybody look over their shoulder, because now people are concerned about what they can say and what they can't say.
And it's just a good thing to be cautious anyway.
No, I'm talking about extra cautious as dealing with this situation that is happening now. Okay? People are being so chastised because they're afraid they might lose their job or whatever, that they're looking over their shoulder.
In the bigger corporations, to be honest.
I can tell you this is what's happening in the bigger corporations because this is what happened.
Right. I'm saying that's where you're seeing it. You're seeing it in these big, like the ones that whose product is the masses.
Right.
Or is consumed by the large portion of the masses.
And
like Disney, like Busch Gardens, like, Netflix, let's say.
Universal. I mean, all those places. I
so
understand.
They're all got a bit of wokeness because they don't want to offend anybody, and they treat so many different kinds of people.
And they don't want to get bashed. Because if like for Bud Light, if they decide to cut,
if they would have never said anything.
Well, right. Well, even if they didn't say anything and they just cut ties, there'd still be a backlash.
Oh, no, it's too late now.
Yeah,
I'm saying to begin with, if they would have just never said anything about it and just stayed in their lane,
and see,
everything would be fine. They would have lost $5.5 billion over the last couple of weeks.
And
that wouldn't have happened.
Right, and that's the problem too, is that these corporations have to make amendments and have to show the force, even though it's not your fault or anybody's fault in that matter. Because I'm not telling anybody what to do on my accord. Okay? I'm telling you what I had to go through on my accord. Okay? You take it, you leave it, you apply it, do with it what you will in your life. It's up to you. But my point is,
try not to be an asshole like Bull.
But just my point is that, it would be a.
I got him.
No. I was going to say something, and then I had to stop myself and recalibrate and rephrase it. Okay, situations like that, to me, in my opinion, and I'm sure other people who own businesses will say the same thing, that going to HR about something like this is probably not the best thing to do. Okay, because really, what you should do is have a conversation with your higher ups, whoever that may be. Okay. And then on that point, they should go, okay, well, cool. We'll have a talk with them and we'll get them up to speed about what's going on. Not
give us a call, 922-8624.
Right. Not sit there and go, you know what? Sorry about your luck, kid. Pack sand. We'll see you in a couple weeks. And this is what happened. That's the problem. And we
want to hear what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, and that's the people that are standing on their leg about this because they know they have an upper hand on this. Okay? If you want to live your life that way, live your life that way. Don't be.
I don't even see why you want me involved.
Well, I'm saying don't.
It'd be fun in your situation.
Well, don't sit there and pull somebody into your world because of whatever. Okay? I mean, you have to have some sort of rationale before you start doing all this stuff, right? I mean, you have to sit there and go, is it worth doing all this? Now, if the person was sitting there blatantly blah, 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 okay, that might be a problem. But then again, it's still their First Amendment right of free speech. because they're not using anything negative like the N-word or calling them the F-word or the R-word or whatever. They're sitting there using the words that they were taught to use. So therefore, where did we come up with this whole thing about now you have to say this or you have to say that? Because I guarantee you, if a person would go out to a construction job site, for example, what do you think would happen? Do you think that they would sit there and go, oh, yeah, that's cool? Or do you think they would clown them for it? I mean, come on. If you're going on you're at a job site, you say, hey, I'm a trans whatever, I use blah, 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 blah. And you're talking to some big
off the site.
Yeah, this big burly guy is looking at you going, what?
No, I don't think so. I think that behind their back, though, people will be watching.
I guarantee you
they'll be talking. Yeah.
I guarantee you I guarantee you that they would clown.
You might get one or two. Sorry, excuse me. I'm having a little coffee fit at the moment, but you might get one or two super macho guys that are ugly to somebody. Absolutely.
Well, it's not just being ugly.
9 times out of 10, people protect the herd. They don't want to disrupt the herd.
Right.
And what they'll do is they'll just kind of sit back and watch. And once that motherfucker starts chucking lumber like a dude or whatever, they're likely just going to be like, whatever, let's see what happens.
But see, when does it have to be like, okay, for example, and again, we're beating the dead horse here, but for example, if you're a tattoo artist, right? Okay. Sorry. And I walk into your shop and business, right? And I go, you're doing it wrong. And you have to go by this, and this for me. Okay. You not knowing who I am. And I just walked in there and said all this into your shop, right?
Into my store.
Into your store.
Okay.
I mean, come on. Would you not tell them to get lost? I mean, hell, I've been kicked out of a smoke shop for not using the right verbiage.
Well, that was back when...
It doesn't matter. I've still got kicked out of a business for not using the right verbiage. So therefore, you have the right as an owner to sit there and go, you know what? Or even as a person, I don't have to do this. There's no...
I mean, that's why Jordan Peterson moved from Canada, because they put it into law that he had to start recognizing these 30-some-odd genders.
Right.
He said, no, I don't.
You don't have to.
He was like, I'm out of here.
And to answer your question, Belly, this is the thing that really kind of strikes me as weird. Okay, you've got to stop sitting there and critiquing every single thing that is a news source. Okay? Because for what I'm saying is, I don't care if it's Matt Walsh. I don't care if it's Matthew McConaughey. I don't care who it is. I'm looking at the story. Okay. I don't care if it's a left, a right, a rationalist, or whatever the hell they want to call it. I don't care. I'm just looking at the story and deciding for myself and my opinions about what's going on. Okay. I'm not looking about how they presented it. I'm not looking about how they did this. I'm not looking about how... It doesn't bother me, okay? Because I'm just looking at the meat and potatoes of what they're talking about. And if you're old enough, you've done this long enough, you should know that as well. Because in this day and age, we're a media outlet, so you have to decipher between what's factual and what's not. Like, for example, when they say men can give birth, I'm sorry, that's irrational to say that. Because
they say what?
That men can give birth. Okay?
A man can give birth.
Yeah, it's irrational to say that.
Yeah, that's not even true.
Because you're not even sitting there looking at, as Belly would say, the evidence or the facts. You're saying, well,
what you've said in the past is that the argument is that because a girl can transition to a man,
that's what Belly's format is.
So the answer is
but his format is that he could a female can turn into a male, so therefore a male can get pregnant. I'm sorry to tell you, buddy, it doesn't work that way. I don't know. I would like anybody to post on the Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com, just search Bulls Radio Lounge. I would like you guys to post something, a tangible article that says men can get pregnant. Physical men, DNA men can get pregnant.
Well, I mean, you'll be able to find that article.
No,
Sure.
I'm saying like a tangible, like no
If you
shadow of
don't-
a doubt, like
you're probably gonna believe it.
like the man is in birthing strips, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, Belly, I want you to say something.
That
He says he can say something, but
that's my point. Is that
it's being covered?
it's just
Well,
like
but
it,
he will get mad.
it's just
No,
like
that's good.
it's just like Bigfoot, right?
Bigfoot does not exist.
Right, exactly. So even if we have tangible evidence that Bigfoot is real, most people are not going to believe it. But the problem is that we've stepped aside from what's real
Who was there?
in this
Is that what
in
you
this
were gonna
case.
say that was going to make him mad?
Who are you talking to?
Belly.
Oh.
I'm keeping up with our comments.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're going to sit there and be mad, I'm trying to look at the logical explanation for all this, and there's none.
I mean, so I agree. Obviously,
There's no logical.
I think introducing sex and alternative sexes and things like that. I think they're introducing that way too young. I even dare to say that they don't. It's not their job to introduce it. In the
No,
school
it's the
system,
parents.
kind of thing. We all figured it out for ourselves with our various
Right.
methods. My parents had Playboy magazines. We had the Scramble Vision, and my kids have Pornhub.
Yeah.
So, like,
It's out there.
yeah,
Right.
they figure out what they like.
Right.
It's not an issue.
Right.
And if it happens to be the same sex, it happens to be the same sex. Not a problem. It is
Right.
what it is.
Right.
Like we're beyond that. I think as a society, and I think we always have been. And to say that we're not is a lot like saying that we're racist. I feel like we've come a long way, and racism is not really in our day-to-day activity anymore. At least not amongst our generation, and even the generation just before us. And on, like, it's just not. You're trying to create it as a thing, and it becomes just more of like that whole suffering Olympics, like who is stepped on more than the next person or whatever, and it's like, oh, pity me because I
Right.
have, not only am I black, but I'm lesbian too. Oh, geez, and so obviously I've suffered a lot more than you, and no, you haven't suffered more than me. I'm quadriplegic, and I'm gay, and I'm non-binary, and I like dolls,
Yeah.
doll makeup or
I
whatever.
mean,
So
know-
it just gets to be so ridiculous, and it's like this Olympics of suffering, and we're just like, who suffers more? And the answer is we all fucking suck.
Right.
Life sucks, man. Get on board, get a job, and pour my coffee and shut the fuck up.
Wait a minute. Hold
Like,
on. Belly said that no biological man could give birth.
That's correct.
Okay, so if Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Belly say that man can give birth?
I don't think he's ever said that.
I believe that he did, because I think we had a couple shows ago, we had an argument about that because the fact that he was trying to prove that men can get pregnant. Do you remember that?
So I don't remember that. No.
It was, I think, 2 or 3 shows ago.
Yeah, I hear that, but I don't particularly.
But
remember it.
that's how I told you about his format afterwards.
I remember you telling me about
But
it.
before that,
physically hearing him say
why?
it.
That's what I'm saying. Before that, he had said that men can get pregnant, and that's where I'm like, what?
And I've heard that. I'm not just from Belly, let's say, because I personally don't think I've heard that from Belly, but I have heard people say that, and the answer is no.
Yeah, it's always been the answer since the
It's
dawn
always-
of time. It's always been the answer.
And guess what? For those that are still confused by how to define a man or a woman, that's a really quick and easy, dirty way to figure out if you're dealing with a man or a woman.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is this, is like any parent, okay? Like, at what point do you sit there and go, this is just too much. I cannot put my kid through this.
Oh, I'm there.
You know, I can't put my kid through having puberty blockers and
Definitely not.
Lupron shots to castrate the kids, and I'm not okay with having this surgery that's not even paid for by insurance, right? That's going to redirect. What's that?
It's cosmetic, so yeah, it would.
Yeah, it's not covered by insurance, and to have all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, now, okay, because you've done all and statistics. Here's the problem with statistics, is that people now that are trying to be activists with this and
Really
saying
wants to get on
and this, right? All those are wrong. because this thing has not been around long enough for them to get an actual statistic on what's going on. The only thing that they can say statistically wise is that the suicidal rate goes up tremendously after they have the surgery because of the fact that now they figured out, oh, I just screwed up and I can't go back. So a lot of people are saying, well, the suicidal rate is higher before. No. If you look at the statistics, they'll show you. And then people are saying that there's genocide. We're killing mass transgender people. My question is, for one, why isn't the UN involved with this, the United Nations? Because if you're talking about genocide, I'm thinking mass graves. I'm thinking gas chambers. I'm thinking anything horrific to wipe out an entire generation.
Like sect of people.
Oh, it doesn't make a difference. Genocide is genocide no matter who you are.
Okay. Here's the best part. You can do it indirectly if they become eunuchs. Because then they can't, then the reproduction rate goes drastically down by 60%, let's say, even up to 80 to 90%, depending on how many people drink the Kool-Aid. And now you're not having babies. The ones that are having babies are the ones that didn't drink the Kool-Aid. So maybe we're better off and just let this thing fucking play out.
One of the things that Matthew McConaughey said was that don't drink the juice, man. It's sweet. It tastes good, but tomorrow you'll have cavities. And that's true. It's like everybody that's on board with this, which is fine. You have your right to protest. I'm not saying anything.
Let's see what Belly has to say.
But anything, here's the problem. If you're activist with this, can't you do it logically? Like when somebody tells you that a man can get pregnant.
I don't think he's ever said that.
No, not him. I'm just saying in general. When a trans person says a man can get pregnant or an activist, whatever, it's like,
right, I know they're full of shit and I know not to listen to them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But if you're bandwagoning with them and you're
then
hearing
I'm not to listen to you as well. Like, I mean, I feel like this we're just going further and further down the hole.
Exactly. Every time this conversation is brought up, it's the same thing.
But there's legitimate like gender dysphoria and stuff like that, which I mean, I know rightists will hang me for saying that, but I know people who live perfectly normal lives, and you would never know that way back when, let's say, in the 90s, when they were 30 or whatever, they went and got a change, and now they're living their lives as a perfectly normal of the other sex, and you wouldn't know anything else. Like, you literally would say, yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, to this.
Exactly.
You would have no fucking clue, and they behave like a normal person, like just like a person.
Yep.
So you know that there's a difference there. You know that there's a different kind of person there that you're dealing with.
There was a video that I saw. It was an interview with probably, I think, about a 7-year-old man, I think it was. And he, back in the 70s, he transgendered into a woman, right? And, you know, he was happy with his life, had the surgery and whatever the case may be, the no surgery and stuff like that. But then he realized, like, this is too much. This is him talking. Like, he's saying this is too much. This is just too much, you know, stuff to deal with. You know, I don't feel right. And that's how the mind works on you. It's not about physicality. It's not about people liking it. It's about what's going on in your mind. Your mind is controlling all of this.
Well, and it's a strong thing. And when your mind is telling that something's wrong,
right.
You know, I feel like people are just trying to find the answer to that.
And they are, but they're not. I
mean, that's kind of life, you know.
Yeah, but they might be trying to find the answers to it, but the thing is that I don't think, for one, they're getting the right answers. Okay.
Well, you can't actually say that.
Well, no, you can. If a pediatrician is telling the parents and the child that, oh yeah, you have this, you do this, you're going to be fine. But what they don't tell you,
on a slippery slope of persuading and grooming in a way, right?
As a doctor, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, under the Hippocratic Oath, aren't you supposed to let the patient know everything that's supposed to go on with this?
Well, right, and they'll swear that they do, and
which they don't.
You got to prove.
and you can't. So there's no point.
Well,
in
there's
talking
there's
about
parents that come out and say, I wish I would have never done this.
Well, sure.
You know, and that's my point.
Well, but right. But
Is
there's
where
also the cases where people are like, I have never felt better.
Right, and this is fine. That's fine.
Right. So what I'm saying is that you can't blanket statement. Nobody can. I'm not pointing you out. I'm just saying in general. You can't blanket statement and say, well, this is obviously not the answer. For some people, it is.
Yeah.
That percentage is super small in my mind, though, and I could be wrong. I want stats to be wrong and whatever. But and here's the thing: they're going to get them because of this family phase that we're going through.
Yeah.
So they're going to get the numbers, whether they're skewed or not,
So-
and that's a bit of the issue. I think that's people just aren't. I think we're getting it lost in this game of semantics.
Yeah.
Where people aren't phrasing things just right.
Exactly.
It's like, the answer is not that we hate each other, because we don't. We haven't in a long time.
Right.
But we're seeing a great divide right now, from seemingly very similar. You would assume everybody just wants to live and let live. Everybody wants to keep their, have their family, and everybody, be happy within their personal circles and their personal worlds, which do grow and expand like a universe and that kind of such.
Right.
Like, because we keep meeting new people, and then that makes bigger groups and all this stuff or whatever. And we want that group to be safe and be happy, and we will back that group up to the death.
Of course.
Right. And
Of
that's
course.
true about everybody.
Right.
So why are we so divided?
I think it's the newer generation of kids that are coming out, that they're so sensitive to certain
created
things.
to be this way. And if we just fight it, if we just look at each other and say, man, like, we're all connected, and we know that we've said it, we know it, we've felt it.
Here's my question for you.
And I think that there's a bit of that going on too, where we're just like, we hate to see our brother getting lied to, or we, and the truth is, we're all being lied to on either side. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what, I mean, everybody's gonna chop it up and make it look nice and stuff like that, no matter what. Do me a favor, keep on talking real quick for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, well, that would have been fine if I would have just kept with my steam. Anywho, I don't know. All I'm saying is that I feel like on both sides we're being lied to, period. And it doesn't matter. And the more divided we look, the more we're looking at each other and fighting with each other instead of looking at the actual problem, and that's that we're being led astray, I would say. We're being led into a false sense of security that doesn't actually exist, and it's at our own cost. It's at the cost of ourselves. If you want to be cheesy, I guess, or however you take this, but at the cost of our freedoms, and what blows my mind is that it's literally what our forefathers were talking about and writing about so long ago. Like, they already knew, because they've seen the fall of Rome, and they know history repeats itself. And we're the new Rome, and we're falling. We're right in the thick of it, and it's hilarious and sad at the same time to just kind of look at it and be like, holy shit, man.
So here's my question. What do we do, just like with Black Lives Matter? And this has been proven too. It was a movement, all right? They were even investigated for, like, drawing
For fraud and things.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. So here's my question. So what happens at the end of all this? People start to go, even transition, going, oh, wait a minute, this is a bad thing. And this all goes away.
So, but
because it's a movement.
That's the thing.
Now we're stuck.
You're never going to, well, I can't say never.
Well,
but
no.
it likely will not be blanketed as this is a bad thing. I think that it's going to hurt. Like, with the showing out the way that it has been, the risk is run for everybody to blanket statement, this is nonsense, and then it hurts the actual movement and the real movement that had happened in the 80s and the 90s, and getting the gay rights and and all that stuff. Like, all that was very important, still important, and it's going to get looked at as kind of a joke in a way. Is one of the risks that are being run by doing this, by acting out in this way, right?
Right.
Is that at some point it just might be like, all right, enough's enough. Let's throw our hands up. You guys can't be contained. You can't be pleased. You can't be helped. We're just done with you, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think at one point
there's the outcome, and then there's the other outcome where it's just it tones itself down as it should, and everybody just kind of live and let live, and everybody just is cohabitating like we were before, and everything is fine. They've made their presence known. They've said that they don't like this or that. It'll just kind of assimilate itself, and then that's the other option. And I mean,
the sooner, I think the sooner that it becomes a non-issue, the sooner that happens. And I think that that's really ultimately the way, because you don't want to you don't want to, and you won't be able to, you'll just cause rebellion if you take away, if you just blanket statement and take away all these rights that people did.
True.
Literal.
Shit, I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Unmute yourself.
It's fine. Go for it. I was done.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mute you. I meant to mute Belly for a minute.
We got 3 minutes left. What's
Belly? What do you got, buddy?
One.
Make it quick.
It was Bull's thoughts. It wasn't the Social Reload show. Matt wasn't on there. I never said a biological man could get pregnant.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I never.
Yeah, you did. Go check tape.
Why don't you
We argued about. Hey,
listen.
listen. We argued about it. Okay, and then you made this.
I know.
And then you made this grand revelation that a female can transverse into a man, and that's how you get a male pregnant. I'm sorry, buddy. It doesn't work out that way.
I never said a biological male.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with you because I only got a couple minutes.
Okay, so let me talk. So that's science.
Quickly.
2, can we admit that social science is a science?
Is social science a science?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so gender is a social construct. It's a social science. It's different from biological sex, which is its own science. It's biological science. It's 2 different sciences. Go check out Neil deGrasse Tyson versus Ben Shapiro, where he talks about this and he goes into depth on it.
And I've seen it, and I agree, Belly. It's an interesting conversation we definitely need to have on a bigger scale.
But again, I just wanted to correct the record on here that my argument was being misrepresented.
It always is. And I appreciate that, Billy.
All right.
Setting the record straight here on this Tuesday Social Reload show.
All right. We only had a couple more minutes. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining the show. I enjoy every minute of you guys, even Belly, with his antics and anecdotes. I appreciate that.
That's hilarious.
So no, I mean I love everybody. I don't care. You know, it may seem like I'm being a little bit heated, but I'm not. Okay, I'm trying to create content for people to talk and to create show content and for people to listen and enjoy what we talk about. So I don't dislike anybody. I love everybody. I think the way you live your life, that's cool. I've always said that. You know, I've always supported the LGBT plus community. Always. And you can look at my shows and you can see that. So.
Yes, sir.
Don't sit there and call me a bigot when I'm not.
Well, I will call you that and more, sir.
Well, you get a pass. So.
Because I am Monique, the Latina lesbian.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
And who are you to say I'm not? You can't tell me I'm not.
You can't say anything. So,
Social Reload Show, baby, go get you some.
There you go. All right, we'll talk to you soon. You guys take care of yourself, take care of others, and just enjoy each other's company. That's all we're saying. You know, everybody's got to love everybody, and you don't have to.
Male,
but,
female, or toaster.
Yeah, just do your thing. Live your life the way you want to live your life. You know.
Go get you some.
Go get you some. We'll talk to you soon.
We love it.
Next Tuesday, 9 o'clock, Social Reload Show, not Bull's Thoughts, as Belly well proclaimed. I don't understand why the host has to get bashed for being the host. But that's another conversation for a different day. Anyways, you guys have a good night. We'll talk to you soon. Social Reload Show, Bulls Radio Lounge. Go to YouTube and just check it out, Bulls Radio Lounge. Facebook, Bulls Radio Lounge as well. I think that's it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We tried to keep it funny and busting balls. So, anyways, guys have a good night. Belly, I love you, bud. You're a cool cat. You got a lot of inspiration, a lot of thoughts, and a lot of education up there. So, again, you guys have a good night. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the executive producer, Chewy Rocks. Thank you for all the interns. Thank you to everybody who supports this show. You guys are listeners. You guys are awesome. So, we'll talk to you again. Stay tuned for more shows coming up. Bull's Thoughts. And I'm working on a couple other shows. So stay tuned. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Warning, warning, warning. The following broadcast is not intended for regular radio. Please disengage your audio console immediately.
Because of you, I'll always know where to